last thing we'll go into, Dave, as we end the show, we're going to talk about this yesterday. We'll talk about it today. Should the Bucks be worried about Giannis? And the reason why we're talking about this is Giannis has been offered a Supermax contract. He has until the 21st to sign it. He has not signed it. Now, when I watched The Jump earlier this week, Amin El-Hassan made a great fucking point of, if you're happy on the team and you say you want to stay on the team and you don't want to leave Milwaukee,
right? Why
hasn't it been signed? Obviously, Giannis might not want to stay in Milwaukee is what this is telling us. And they obviously, I can't remember her name, the other analyst they had on was like, well, you know, you got to keep your options open, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, Dave. If I'm a Bucks fan, if I'm in the Bucks organization, I'm sitting there going, why the fuck hasn't he signed this yet? He said he wanted to stay.
Yeah, it does beg the question. And that's the problem. I think that Giannis is going to wait it out. I think he will not sign this season. I think he's going to make it come down to the wire of next season. You got to see which chess pieces do move.
As he should.
Yeah, because I mean, look, he doesn't have to do it. The contract they can offer him now and the contract they can offer him after the season is the exact same. So it's not like Giannis is not going to get a max deal from any other team. Even if he breaks his leg, he's Kevin Durant level of, you're worth the money. We will eat an entire year of paying you $30 million so you can ride the fucking bench so we can have you for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
So he's playing with house money. I think Giannis does not sign because he wants to know the landscape of the league. LeBron signing and having Paul George now sign, those are big deals. Let's see where a certain Mr. James Harden lands. Do you want to stay in the East? Do you want to run away from perhaps a three-headed giant of Kyrie, LeBron, or Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant? I wouldn't blame you.
Honestly, I could see
the guy who would do that. Let me just put that there so Giannis haters don't come at me, fucking bro. But like, it's just one of those situations where I think there's only upside to waiting. Yes, it makes the team nervous. Yes, it makes everyone nervous who's a fan. But like, from a business standpoint, from a like, how can I set myself up for success? What's the better move?
You want to know who I think Giannis is going to keep his eyes on this year?
Who?
There's one team. Golden State.
Going back to the well.
So reason why I say that is even to last year, there have been, I know tampering's a thing. Tampering happens. Let's get used to it. Like even Richard Jefferson's like, fucking tampering happens. Like the league's not going to ever stop it. There have been Warrior players, allegedly, have been trying to just coerce Giannis. Like, hey, let's build a friendship. Let's get on buddy terms. Like, especially during the offseason and stuff. I think Giannis is going to look at the Warriors this year of like, okay, Klay's out. They're not a champion contender. But let me see what happens with this team. Let me see how a James Wiseman works. Let me see how a Steph plays this year. Can he stay healthy this entire year? Because now I know if Giannis was going to go to the Warriors, it would probably be a sign and trade because of their like contract situations and stuff. But like that to me, I think could be Giannis's number one team because to go to the Lakers, it would have to be a sign and trade because since they re-signed LeBron, do an extension, re-signed AD, we talked about they're just not going to have the cap to sign him outright. They would probably have to do a sign and trade if they want a Kawhi, if they want a Giannis. And like, for me, if I'm Giannis too, if I am moving away from Milwaukee, there's a part of me that is like, I'm either going to the West or the Heat. Those are my options because the only way I'm staying in the East is if I know I'm going to a team that for sure can get to the finals. And I think the Heat finals last year, I think their Eastern Conference finals favorites this year, even though I had them losing to the Nets.
What if this was all the long game for Mr. Danny Ainge?
Oh,
he's got the assets.
Boston?
He's got the assets, Ricky.
Dave.
He's got the war chest.
Dave, what's our rule here on MVP Sports Live?
He's got the war chest, Ricky. I'm just...
Dave, what's our rule here? Like, Danny Ainge don't make trades?
He'll never make the deal. But think about it. He could offer up Jason Tatum. No, he would never offer.
You know who Danny Ainge is?
Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker, who is net negative right now, I think. I think most people just fucking hate him like me. They've all seen the light. Thanks for following, guys.
You know who Danny Ainge is? He's that guy that talks a big game to girls, And then after he sleeps with them, he goes, I don't know, that's never happened before. That's Danny Ainge.
Oof.
Like, talks a big game. I got all these picks. We're going to make a deal. I don't know. We offered it, but it didn't. That's Danny Ainge.
It sounds like he's not actually then sleeping with them. It sounds like he gets close, but then he just
Yeah, well, it doesn't happen. Like,
maybe can't get it up.
Yeah, maybe
it's a blue pill problem.
Totally came at that from two different ways, and I love it. Oh, I love it.
Good show, Ricky.
To get us back on track, Tim says, how about just take the Bucks to the finals? Why do they all bail on their teams to chase rings the easy way? Ugh, it annoys me so much. I mean, it's the NBA we live in, though.
It's the modern NBA of, if I can play with my friends, get paid millions of dollars,
to play a kid's game
for a championship, and have the deck kind of stacked to my side a little bit. Because again, players don't get to choose initially where they're playing. They don't get to choose their teammates. I'm sure Giannis now has some form of like, I want that guy, I want that guy, I want that guy, and the team will do what they can to get him. But even LeBron James can't say, I want Giannis, go get him right now. Like there are things you can't do. So as a free agent, gives them the ultimate power and mobility to go, where do I want to play? Well, it's not just about, getting the most money anymore. It's about what makes the most sense to me. I'm happiest when I'm winning basketball games. Where can I go be happiest at? Yeah. Money helps. Lack of tax helps. That means Florida's a big fucking winner right there.
So at least the Orlando Magic are in the running.
Maybe the Tampa Bay Raptors.
Maybe.
Full time, baby.
Like, I'll agree with Tim's side, where if Giannis were to say before the 21st of December, I'm going to sign the Supermax, I would have all the respect in the world for Giannis, because that would mean he's like, the problem that I would have with Giannis leaving Milwaukee is the fact that he has kind of pigeonholed himself into of course he's going to say this. He has to say this. He's got to say it to say all the right things. But by going so far to the degree of, I love Milwaukee, I never want to leave Milwaukee, I'm going to be a Buck forever, I'm going to retire a Buck. Like, if I was his agent or something, or his friend in his corner, I'd be like, like, you can phrase that in a way that doesn't pigeonhole, because I think if he does leave, he is going to be viewed as Kevin Durant 2.0, or maybe worse, because of the comments he has said in the past about loving Milwaukee, wanting to stay in Milwaukee, and winning for a small market in Milwaukee.
Yeah, no, again, he says the right things. He's very Milwaukee favorite personality, whatever you want to call it, like home favorite. So, like, again, I don't necessarily see this as, all in all, this is not a sign of him leaving. This is just he's going to do what's best for him. And at the end of the day, I don't blame him one way or the other for anything. There's no wrong answer. There's no right answer here. It's go play wherever you want to. I would love to see him in a different town. I'd love to see him have Milwaukee win a championship this year. I think that's the problem, is like, I want to see him take over. Like, he is the guy who, it was first after LeBron James, we were all looking for that guy. We all pointed at Anthony Davis. We said, that's the guy who's going to be the next guy who leads the league. Guess what? Not him. Ain't him. Kevin Durant. No. Turns out he's a snake. Can't follow. Giannis right now is on that mantle. He is the two-time MVP, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, I think.
And I want to step in to cut you off really quick, because Soapy said something in the comments where he said, I mean, AD said the same things and people didn't care. The reason people didn't care about AD was because AD said that early on, but then towards the end, before he got traded, New Orleans was pissed at AD because it was basically like, I don't want to play here. Fucking move me. I don't want to. Like, he had burnt the bridge. He had destroyed the bridge, burnt the bridge. It was basically ash being like blown in the wind. To where when he was traded, it was almost like a relief for New Orleans of like, oh, thank God we don't have to deal with AD anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think it's win-win trade. It's one of those weird situations where it is a win-win deal.
Yeah, because they got Lonzo. They got a ball brother, baby.
Are you forgetting the All-Star?
Yeah, Lonzo Ball, baby. 54th best player in the NBA, Lonzo Ball. Just right, 54. Is that where he was on the ESPN list? 54. Really, Dave? Really gonna do that? Yeah, I'm like, you better come back in. We have a little bit more to talk about. And like somebody said, yeah, Josh Hart. Josh Hart also. Yes, Dave. We know BI is the one in that deal. I'm fucking with you.
Disrespect is insane.
It's not disrespect. I'm just fucking with you. We all know I love Lonzo Ball. I will always. It goes back to when we went to his draft, I hitched my wagon to Lonzo. You and Sean hitched your wagon to Markel Fultz. So, like, for me, it's like I'm always going to be in Lonzo's bandwagon.
I'm rooting for them both.
Mm-hmm.
Rooting for them both. Lonzo had a good shooting season. He's finally getting better. He's still afraid of fucking contact because he can't shoot a free throw. Markel Fultz also can't shoot a free throw. Still working on his game. Can't wait to see what they both do this year.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand where Tim's coming from. They turn into villains for me when they do that, like leave the team. But like, there's a part of me that feels the same way as Tim, but like I feel like Tim and I are 90s guys, where it's like when I was growing up watching basketball,
ride or die.
It was kind of like the beginning of basketball, where they even mentioned the team kind of has a stranglehold on you, like. In basketball, although it's a funny movie, they do mention how, like, when you're drafted to a team, like, you are, like, part of that team and there's no moving. And that's how it used to be, where it's like, this team can do whatever they can to try to keep you. It's like, I just want to get out of here sometimes. And that's why you got, like, the Vince Carter situations, where now it's player movement has never been as good as it has been, to where players have the option to move and they have all the power.
Yep. Kind of sad.
Do you think he moves at the end of the year?
I think it's championship or bust.
I think so too. If they make the finals and lose, does he still leave?
No.
So it's a make the championship or bust.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He's got to get. He is yet to do what's necessary, which is win the East. And like we all want to crown him the successor. He does everything. He's so great at basketball. He's getting better at everything he's needed to over the years. Like he's just a constant most improved player kind of candidate. As dumb as that sounds.
Could you imagine if he did go to the Heat and it would basically, I just thought of this in my head. If he goes to the Heat and wins like at least 2 titles with the Heat, it's like he paralleled KD, but in the East. Going to the team that was in the finals, going to the team that would have beat him in the playoffs or could beat him in the playoffs this year, like could be the same situation that KD did.
Can we just say the people who are saying they wouldn't trade Tyler Hero for James Harden are idiots? And I think it would be the same case for Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think they're idiots. I think if you think that Tyler Hero is on par with a 3-time top 3 voting MVP or a 2-time MVP of the NBA, then you're an idiot.
I wouldn't say that about the James Harden part, because for me, I think James Harden, if I'm that Miami Heat team, I don't want him in my locker room, but that's just me with how I view James Harden, especially with the little tirade that he's throwing right now. I get that he has to do it to try to get moved, but I don't think it's the right thing to do and the right way to handle yourself. For Giannis, though, yeah, I would trade Tyler Hero for Giannis. Like, no problem. Like, tomorrow. Like, I love Tyler Hero, too. I would want him on Miami if I
feel like people are... And again, this has come up on our Discord, that Tyler Hero is incredibly overrated because people are saying that they would not deal him for Giannis Giannis is new, so I'm not going to touch that. But for James Harden,
the fact is, do you think Tyler Hero was last year? Did he hit his ceiling last year?
Tyler Hero is Devin Booker. That's the answer. That's the question you have to answer.
I don't know what you mean by that. Like, explain what you mean by that.
He will be similar as a player to Devin Booker. He will put up statistically very similar numbers because they statistically are very similar because they both have incredible shooting. They have incredible heat streaks, and they both have fantastic handles. They're both facilitators. They can both get a couple of rebounds. They're stylistically alike.
Then if he's Devin Booker,
can he be Devin Booker, or can he be what? Is he going to be a 20-point a game scorer efficiently? Is he going to be a 30-point a game scorer?
And that's kind of the thing I was going to throw out, but a different way. Of last year, I know it's his rookie year. How much? Like, everyone's got a ceiling to where that's their highest for the potential. Do you think that from where he was last year, is the ceiling a lot higher than that? Is it just a marginal? Like, okay, he overshined, but he's closer to where the ceiling is. Nobody knows, but it's, what do you think? Like, how high of a star? I think that's the question we're asking, is how big of a star could he develop into because of the rookie year that he had last season and the hype he got for playing on the national stage in the playoffs.
Look, he had a good year. He didn't have a career-defining year. No one outside of Tyreek Evans peaked in the rookie year.
Yeah, but I would say that his time in the playoffs served him like the tournament serves college kids. He got all of his hype from that Miami team, playing in the playoffs, having big moments for them, and being a part of that ride to where the hype just got way too much. To where it's like, I'm not saying he didn't deserve the hype, but it's like he got overhyped, and that's why everyone's high on him this time. Now, if he has a bad season this year and kind of falls down to earth, everyone's going to be off the bandwagon beginning of next year. That's just how it works.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
I kind of want to say don't crown his ass.
For someone who is, through the playoffs, 16 points a game, 5 boards, like 4 assists, 43, 37, 87 for his splits. But it's the runs that he can take you on. That's what makes him magic. But again, like, are you going to say no to a guy who can put up 37, 9, and 9 on a season for 16, 5, and 4?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to look at you cockeyed and be like, I know that this is hard.
I wouldn't say no to Giannis.
Don't tell the whole story, but you've got to be a fucking idiot to think that Tyler Hero is better than James Harden. I know contract value-wise, there's a lot going on there that you have to consider. And personality-wise, there's a lot there. But I'm just saying, like, if you wouldn't blind trade that, I have serious problems.
Like I said, the James Harden one to me is iffy because of the personal stuff. But Giannis, to me, no problem. I want Giannis. Because I know what Giannis is right now, and Giannis and Jimmy together would be fucking sick. And would probably win a championship, just throwing it out there. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Nope. Can't wait to see what Giannis does this season. Hopefully he competes for a championship.
Yeah, he'll lose in the second round. That's what I have. That's what I see. Bucks lose in the second round either to the Heat or basically Heat, Celtics, or Nets. One of those teams are going to beat him in the second round, and he'll walk. Sorry, Milwaukee. But that's going to do it for us. Make sure to check out the Discord. Maybe you don't want to join the Discord if you're a Bucks fan, because you're like, fuck you, Ricky.
Maybe you can stand up to our Buck haters.
Yeah, maybe you can. Maybe you can. Link down below in the description, !Discord into Twitch chat. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids is how you do that. Again, link down below, or !Patreon. Thank you to Pat Hill and Philly Sean, our Patreon sponsors. The Twitch, twitch.tv/MVPvids. We're live every Monday through Friday. And then we're also on YouTube at MVP Sports. That's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for doing everything that you do. And as always, have a good day, everybody.